So, full self-driving is coming this year. Again. Not actually here, not working, not sitting in your driveway doing school runs on its own. Just coming. At this point, Tesla's autonomy timeline isn't a roadmap. It's a recurring event. Every year there's a new promise, a new version, a new, this is the one. And every year, reality quietly steps in and says, not yet. Because if this problem was anywhere close to solved, you wouldn't be hearing guesses on earnings calls. You'd already be using it without thinking twice. Right now, autonomous driving exists in a strange split reality. On one side, you've got confident claims about AI mastering driving, outperforming humans, eliminating risk. On the other side, the actual product still expects you to sit there fully alert, hands ready, like you don't trust it, because you shouldn't. And people swing between those extremes. Either they think it's basically done, or they think it's a complete fantasy. The truth is far less dramatic. It's a genuinely difficult engineering problem being presented with the confidence of a finished solution. And that gap is where most of the confusion comes from. To be fair, progress is real. These systems are better than they were a few years ago by a long way. Highway driving, lane changes, navigation, a lot of that is increasingly reliable. AI has made serious advances in perception and decision-making. But the issue was never the easy parts. The issue is everything messy. Strange intersections, unclear road markings, unpredictable pedestrians, bad weather, unusual edge cases. Driving isn't difficult because of the rules. It's difficult because people and environments don't consistently follow them. And the real world is basically an endless supply of slightly unusual situations that don't show up in clean demos. This is where the pattern becomes obvious. The delays aren't loud or dramatic. There's no moment where someone admits, we're far off. Instead, the language shifts. A deadline becomes an estimate. Ready becomes geography limited. Confidence turns into, I'm just guessing. On their own, those changes don't seem like much, but stack them over time, and you start to see it clearly. The finish line keeps moving. Not because someone is deliberately misleading you, but because the closer you get, the more complexity you uncover. Every layer solved just reveals another one underneath. Now here's the uncomfortable part. The real issue isn't just the difficulty of the technology, it's how it's framed. If something is constantly presented as nearly complete, people expect it to be nearly complete. So when it isn't, it starts to feel like failure. Or worse, overpromising. And then the cycle repeats. Bold claim, missed timeline, revised explanation, new version, repeat. Saying, we're waiting for a better version sounds reasonable at first, until you realize there will always be a better version. That's how software works. If your standard is, we deploy when nothing better is coming, then by definition, you never deploy at scale. A more grounded way to look at this is to stop treating full self-driving like a switch that flips on one day. That's not how this evolves. It's gradual, uneven, and very dependent on specific environments. Instead of asking when it's done, the better question is where it actually works today and where it doesn't. Where does it handle things confidently and where does it struggle? Because that tells you far more about reality than any timeline ever will. Once you look at it through that lens, the delays stop being surprising and start making sense. It's not failure. It's the gap between ambition and what's actually achievable right now. Zoom out. And this isn't just about self-driving cars. It's what happens whenever a new technology gets ahead of itself. The early narrative is always clean and exciting. Then reality shows up and complicates everything. The people who adjust early are the ones who understand that progress is rarely as fast or as smooth as it's presented. The ones who don't just keep waiting for the polished version they were promised, while the real version, slower, less impressive, but genuine, keeps evolving underneath. So no, we're not about to wake up in a world where your car drives itself everywhere flawlessly without supervision. Not this year, and probably not in the neat, fully solved way it keeps being described. But progress is happening. just in a much messier, more incremental way than people expected. And the real difference comes down to whether you're paying attention to what the technology actually is, instead of what you were told it would be.